Hey, everything alright with Masie? I saw her rush off to the loo.
Yeah, I think she's just a bit nervous. It's dueling, right? So I think we all got a lot on our minds.
How are you feeling about the dueling?
I think it's pretty cool that I get like a government sanctioned reason to fight people. So
has anyone ever died in dueling practice at Hogwarts?
I said that death was probably not a good idea, Olive, to talk about right now. I mean, I'm sure Hogwarts is perfectly safe and everything, but I don't really want to go straight into the first defense against the Dark Arts and have this moment where I'm really just worrying about dying because somebody might accidentally kill me
I feel
and they
like
might not even
perfectly
mean
safe is
to,
a bit
and
of a stretch.
I might just be on the floor, and then I'm just
deep breaths. This is a sentence I never thought I'd say, but I would like to investigate the vomit.
So, where were you?
I was... Didn't I make potions in potions class?
Oh, Clem,
Hey,
Masie's not doing too well.
Okay.
Do you want to help me? I was just running to get her some water and a napkin.
Yeah, okay. You're not mad at me, though?
Why would I be mad at you?
I don't know. You gave me a look when you were leaving the hallway, and I thought maybe you were like, oh, what did you do, Clem?
She has a bit of an upset tummy, so I'm just bringing her some stuff.
How are you feeling? Are you feeling strange at all? Confused or sick?
No. Why?
Because everyone else is either confused or sick. Are you confused now?
No, but I do think we should unpack that later.
And I'm rubbish at spells. And I'm supposed to be really good, and they say that pupils are supposed to be really good at spells. I'm really bad at spells. I don't want to hurt anybody, and I don't want to die. I don't know.
Okay, Masie, if you get called today, I'll go up instead, and then we'll practice spells together outside of class. That way, the next time we have defense against the dark arts, you feel more ready, okay?
But I don't want to practice. I just don't want to do it at all.
This is a mystery. I could have sworn it was breakfast just now.
Are you feeling all right? Barney
Yeah,
sort
I'm
of
feeling
like
great.
puts his hand on your head.
Do I feel okay to you?
I mean, you're sweaty,
I don't know how I'm
but
supposed
that's
to feel.
normal.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with Alex. It seems like someone's cast an Obliviate charm on him. He doesn't remember things that have happened over the past day. I brought him here, telling him that you have summoned me and I was nervous to go alone so you could see for yourself and figure out a solution, but don't give away that I'm doing this, okay?
Mr. Pippin, I believe you have ingested a potion. Miss Everglade, could you please escort Mr. Pippin to Madame Pomfrey?
Absolutely. The headmistress is concerned that he may have ingested a forgetfulness potion, and so she just wanted you to just check to be sure. We don't know.
Oh, well, let's have a look at you, Mr. Pippin. Sit down over here in this chair, please.
But I just had sausages. Well, why would Masie be angry at me? Things were going really good.
I don't know. I thought things were going well also. Wait, Rosie, what started the fight? Why was Masie upset?
You know, cause Alex said that he wanted to set up a double.
Oh, I remember.
I think I need to have a nap or something. I'm Pomfrey, can I have a nap?
Yes, your water. And I brought a pumpkin juice as well. Teenage heart is a difficult malady, but I've seen many things in my day.
He'll feel better, right, Madame Pomfrey?
I'm sure he'll do better after a little time. We join Alexander and Rosie in the hospital wing.
Alex. Alex. Alex.
Yeah.
You good? You good over there? You doing okay? Do you know who I am?
Yeah, Rosie.
Okay. And do you know what today is?
Monday?
Hey, Whack, is it Monday?
It is.
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. It's Monday.
Okay.
And how's your stomach? Are you hungry? You want a snack?
No. Thank you.
Okay. That's soul crushing to hear, but I'm fine. I'm fine.
Sorry,
okay.
I'll eat.
No.
I'll eat
That's
one. I'm really
on me.
hungry.
No, that's on me. So if you're not hungry and you're feeling better and you know what day it is, you want to like blow this popsicle stand, or like should we take a nap? Like what's the mood? How you feeling?
Sad?
Okay, yeah, that seems reasonable. Do you want to talk about it? No? Do you want to do some deep breathing? A little in-bed yoga session? No?
No, I can't figure it out.
What thing can't you figure out?
I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to make people feel bad things.
Wait, who are you making feel bad things? Because it's not me. I only feel good things around you. Unless you're sad, and then I feel mad at your sadness. Just kidding. I'm pacifist, so I would never punch your sad in the face.
Okay.
I would send your sad to therapy, though.
Okay. At Masie.
You made Masie feel sad?
Or something.
Or bad? Was it because you were being
Yeah.
like such a good boyfriend? Like it was too much? It was overwhelming?
I don't think so.
Did you guys have a fight while I was in here?
Can't remember exactly.
Well, I can barely ever remember what I did yesterday, so that's incredibly relatable.
I think.
Do I think?
I think I think I
Okay.
did, and then I forgot
You think you hurt Masie's feelings and then you forgot about it?
on purpose. I forgot on purpose, not I hurt her feelings.
You think that you hurt Masie's feelings and then took a forgetfulness potion on purpose?
Yeah. But not because I wanted.
Are you sure you did that?
Yeah, because when I felt really bad just now forgetting why I feel bad would make me not feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's true until you have to remember why you forgot things, and then when you kind of remember it.
Yeah, I don't think that I thought that through.
That's okay. Thinking things through is not my specialty either. So because when I think about this situation, I think that probably somebody did it to us because we are vulnerable targets in the land of Hogwarts. But you think you did it to yourself? Or do you think that maybe this is a manifestation of the anxiety living inside your chest? Because I think it's a manifestation of the anxiety living inside your chest.
I don't.
Could we find out? Like, is there like a magical way to find out if you swallowed the potion willingly or if somebody spiked your food? Like, we do tests for that, like toxology tests in the Muggle world, but I don't know.
I expect that maybe.
Did you have a forgetfulness potion on you, Alex?
No, I probably made it. They're fairly quick. We landed in first year.
And you had the ingredients?
I've got like stuff. I've got spare ingredients for making potions.
And you have the extra money to buy the other ones?
Yeah, I've been saving up.
See, you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the fact that I don't think that you would do that. Because, in the kindest way, I think that your anxiety would have prevented you from taking a potion to forget things.
I don't think
I think you would have been
realize...
too anxious about taking the potion, right?
So I didn't feel anxious.
You just drank it?
Well, I don't know, but like... Before my nap just now...
Uh-huh.
I felt, I felt so sad that I didn't feel anxious. There was too much. There wasn't enough space for it with all the sadness.
Alex, did you two break up?
I don't know. But when I went to lunch, me being around her made her feel sick, I think. So I think that's like a bad sign. And if we broke up, I wouldn't remember it because I took the potion.
Are you sure you just didn't like step in poop or something? Because like people seem to gag around me all the time, and maybe it's just like your shoes.
No, it's when she looked stressed, so I tried to comfort her by rubbing her back a bit, and she flinched away from me and started feeling sick, and then I gave her the fizzy milk that she likes, and that made her throw up entirely, so...
Yeah, but what if somebody had given her a potion to make her sick and given you a potion to make you forget?
Yeah,
I think you're forgetting that somebody cursed our table like the other week, Alex. I think maybe you're blaming this all on yourself.
I don't know, I just... I don't know, like, she definitely wasn't... It wasn't good. I don't know what's gonna happen next.
Well, we could ask her.
I don't know if I want to know.
Do you want me to ask her and then tell you? I think that not knowing might be worse. Because then you're just going to have to think about it like forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And then you're going to be like, what'll happen? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it good? Is it bad? And then you'll make yourself sick. And then really you could just know and have to deal with the negative side effects instead of imagining that you're going to have to deal with the negative side effects, which might just be worse. It's like when I try to think about having a bath.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I just want.
Well, you're gonna have to see her. We go to school together.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna talk to her? Do you want me to say that you're magically under a spell where you cannot speak? You have laryngitis.
Well, no,
That's
I
not
don't want to
magic.
lie. I don't want to
Okay,
lie.
no lying.
Yeah.
You are nervous. That's not a lie.
Yeah, I don't. I just wish I knew what to do. I want it to be better again.
I think that maybe you should tell Masie all the things that you told me,
But what?
and then see if
No,
maybe
'cause
you're
what-
just.
No, I mess things up when I try to do good things.
What if you wrote Masie a letter so that way you couldn't get nervous? You could only write down the key points and facts, and nothing could be misrepresented. And you could edit out the things that you didn't mean to put in there. You know, like the ums and the ifs and the whats, and then give that to Masie. Because like when I can't properly express my feelings, I think writing it's like interpretive dance in that people completely understand exactly what you're doing and saying to them.
Listen, the word interpret in the dance thing, no, doesn't that mean people can just...
No, it's the exact same thing as writing a letter, but with dance.
Right, that might be a good idea if I...
Not the interpretive dance though, the writing. We've never even taken an interpretive dance class together, but I could teach you if you wanted to tell Masie through interpretive dance, we could figure out a way to make that work.
What if next time I see Masie, I just don't say anything?
But what if Masie's not mad at you and then that makes her think that you're mad at her?
Unless she says something to me.
But what if she doesn't want to say something to you unless you say something first? I think you should just write a letter. I'll pay for the owl. I think you should write a letter.
I can just write a note and keep it in my pocket.
You could write a note and keep it in your pocket and then slide it to her next time you see her.
Yeah, out something like that, maybe.
Okay, I think that's a good idea. And then she'll know exactly what you're thinking, and neither of you will have to cross any verbal miscommunication lines, which is common for our age group, I think.
Okay.
Do you want some paper? A little parchment? Little quill?
Got some. I keep
Okay.
some.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yours will probably have like the Ravenclaw logo on it, so that makes... Yeah.
My God.
And a pen to match. So I'll leave you to it, and I'm just gonna like roll over to give him privacy. So I'm just gonna turn over.
So it's like a really slow and awkward turn. You like look at him for a second and
I just turn over like immediately, like we're like kids in bed, and he's upset at me. So I'm just like, and then I just roll back over, and I'm like, good luck. I'm just gonna lay there, quietly doing nothing.
Madame Pomfrey makes her way over to you, Alex, slowly but surely.
Tuck my parchment and quill away.
All right, Mr. Pippin. How are you feeling?
I think I got a lot of it out. Or, too tired to... Or oversad? Is being oversad a thing?
I've seen plenty of students that are oversad. It happens a lot.
Okay.
You'll be all right, I'm sure. There are a few steps we can take in regards to a forgetfulness potion, if you want to remember.
I thought about if I wanted to remember or not. And I do.
All right then. What is the last thing that you do remember from before you weren't able to remember?
Going to bed last night.
All right. I'd like you to focus on that memory for me, Mr. Pippin.
She'll like squeakily drag like a stool over to sit next to the bed.
Now, think back to that last memory that you'll remember. And I want you to think about every detail that you do remember, the smallest detail, every ounce of what you can remember with all of your senses. Think about what it smelled like. What did it feel like? What did it sound like? What did it look like? And who else was around in your dormitory? Where they were?
Uh-huh.
Do you have that picture in your head?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Pippin. I want you to hold on to that memory. And then I would like you to go back a little bit, maybe a few hours before that,
Mm-hmm.
into another time that you remember well. Do you have another moment? All right. And I want you to do the same thing. What we're doing, Mr. Pippin, is we're training your brain to remember the moments, because when you take a forgetfulness potion, it doesn't remove a memory, it simply just covers it up, it muddies it up, it fogs it up. You understand? Okay. You remember this other moment?
Yeah.
Okay. The same way. Now, Mr. Pippin, I want you to clear your mind. Try to imagine an empty space. There's nothing else there.
Okay.
And now, slowly begin to think about some of the things that your friends have told you. And picture your friends there. Do you see them?
Yeah.
Very good, Mr. Pippin. You see your friends. And
We're in the great hall. At the table.
Okay, you're in the Great Hall. What? What happened in the Great Hall, Mr. Pippin?
One of my friends got angry at me. Cause I said something wrong and it hurt their feelings.
Oh, Mr. Pippin, I'm sure that it is far worse in your head than what actually happened. If they are your friends, and it seems like you have some very good friends, they've been in here many times. So many times. It's almost like this is another dormitory for all of them. But they're always here to support you. So even if your friends get mad or if you say something silly, then there is, well, no doubt in my mind that it is only for a brief instant. Do you understand, Mr. Pippin?
Yeah, I remember some more of it.
Do you want to talk
It's
about it?
No, not right
You
now.
don't have to.
Okay.
But you're starting to remember. And if you want to, that's what you have to do. All right?
Okay.
And if you
Yeah.
want to talk anymore, I'm just over there.
Thank you, Madam Pomfrey.
Oh, welcome. Miss Earthcloud has provided several cookies if you would like one.
Yeah, I'll have a cookie.
All right. And say thank you to Miss Earthcloud.
Thanks, Rosie.
Yeah, anytime.
And thank you, Miss Earthcloud.
Anytime. Did you like the cookies?
Yeah, really good.
I'm partial to the white chocolate myself.
I'll write that down in my notes so I know that for later.
But be careful, I can't have too many.
Yeah, of course. I would never dream of giving you too many cookies. Cookies are illegal. Totally wouldn't do that.
Madame Pomfrey slowly stands up, probably all kinds of creaks and cracks as she does so. Sounds like a board snapping in half. She sort of pats you on the foot, and she begins to toddle off.
Rosie, did I mess up?
What do you mean?
Masie was angry at me.
I don't think you messed up. But also, I'm not dating you, so, like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've never been alone with you and Masie. Well, actually, I have many times. That's not what I meant. I don't know, but probably not. I think it's probably a misunderstanding. I love you both very much, but sometimes I feel like you both say things that you don't intentionally mean.
Well, I definitely... I just thought... I'll just listen to what she has to say about it. I'll ask her.
That's
And
a
then just-
very good idea. That is huge. Look at that cranium. The size of Hogwarts. It's huge.
Well,
That's why
I
you're in
need-
Ravenclaw. Big old brain.
I need more. It's like when you're doing maths.
More brain?
You know, you need more numbers to complete the sum. I don't have enough information to be able to fix it, so she tells me stuff I can fix it.
Oh, you don't have all of the information to solve the clue crime.
Yeah, like that.
Like the board game. You need to find out which location the wrench was in for the murder.
Yep. Sure, yeah.
I think that's a really good idea. I think that you should just talk to her and figure out what you're missing.
Yeah, but what if she thinks that I said something I didn't? Is it rude to tell her she's wrong?
Does she think you said something that you didn't say?
I think so.
I don't think
Otherwise,
it's
why would she be angry at me?
But you don't really even know if she's angry at you or if it was a misunderstanding. See what I mean? We're
No,
putting
she was
the cart before the pony.
But she was definitely angry, I could tell.
But maybe it wasn't with you.
Well, I sat down next to her and then she stood up and sat somewhere else. And
Are you sure you washed
was
your
angry
clothes?
looking and
There was
yeah.
nothing on your shoes?
No, it was breakfast.
Ah, well, I go outside before breakfast. I don't know if I have enough information to help give advice on this, because it sounds like what you're saying doesn't make much sense, because you would know if you said something mean, and if you didn't say something mean and Masie thought you said something mean and you just said, hey, that's not what I said, then I think Masie would be like, oh my gosh, my bad, totally a misunderstanding. And then you would make a sausage sandwich and ride off into the sunset on the back of Masie's broom.
She said that I called her boring, I think.
Boring? Were you maybe talking about the fact that we're in a boarding school?
I don't know. It's still fuzzy, I think. I need to... Well, maybe just talk to her at dinner?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't sound like something you would say.
She's not. Like, it's exciting to be around her.
Yeah, she's like the most interesting person. Like, she's gonna be like a famous Quidditch star, and she's very smart, and she solves all these crimes, and well, they're not crimes, but you know what? They're crimes against us, so crimes. And she's so nice. How could you ever be bored? And she's got that laugh that she does, where she's like, like, how could you not love that? You know what I mean? You could get bored by that. I can listen to that laugh all day long. If I could take that laugh and put it in cookie dough, flying off the shelves, you know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be really good cookies. I think it's gonna be fine. I think you two just need to like maybe sit down and talk about your feelings. But like, I think you should write a letter. I do think, because I've watched you two communicate, and it does feel sometimes like one
maybe
step
I'll
forward, five back.
I won't know what to write yet, so I'll write it down before I say it out loud.
That is perfect.
So it's like a script, so I don't mess it up.
Yeah, and be like, excuse me, I have some things to say, and I've been practicing it. And then you say it like you're in a play. We've done that before. But don't do it like that play.
No. Thanks, Rosie.
Yeah, anytime. Do you want another white chocolate chip cookie?
No, save those for Madame Pomfrey. I'll have the other one.
You want just a standard chocolate chip?
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you.
Proud of you. You got this. Go team. Deep breath. All the other slogans.
And we switch scenes. We join our Gryffindors. Now, Olive, you've just dropped Alex off at Madame Pomfrey, and I think we see you, Clem, and Masie meeting back up as you are getting ready to head to your transfiguration class. So, Olive, we see you sort of rushing up. Masie and Clem, you're probably just waiting right outside the transfiguration classroom, getting ready for class.
She can't be far away anyway.
No.
Did I miss much?
There you are.
Hi. No.
Are you okay?
I'm alright. I don't...
Should we
Don't,
just go
don't be mad, alright?
Okay.
Why would we be mad?
Well, not at me, but at Alex.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons that I could be mad at Alex, but which one exactly do you mean?
Well, I don't mean anything in particular. I just mean, he's in the hospital wing, and the headmistress thinks that he may have been given a forgetfulness potion, which is hard to confirm because he can't remember.
Given one? Who would give him a forgetfulness potion? When did this happen? Is he okay? Is he
I don't know.
gonna remember anything ever again?
No, it seems like it's only for a couple hours. It seemed like he just thought it was breakfast time when it wasn't. But I talked to the headmistress because I thought maybe it had something to do with your wands or the weird things that have been happening lately. So I don't really know what happened, but maybe just be careful. And everyone, you know, I don't know, don't let any other students like hand you a glass of pumpkin juice or make up your dinner plate or something. Because what if someone slipped it into his drink and we didn't know, you know?
How did you know?
Just the headmistress said it. That's what it looked like. So she had me take him to the hospital wing.
Why were you with the headmistress?
Because when I was talking to Alex, I thought... I didn't really think it was like a memory thing. He was just acting weird and I got really scared and I thought maybe someone was pretending to be Alex or he had been cursed or that there was something big and scary going on. So I told him that the headmistress had asked to see me and that I was really nervous to go and that, you know, could he be a good friend and come with me kind of thing. And so he walked me to the headmistress office and I was like, quick. And then it was really cool. It was like the headmistress was like a secret spy with me. And it was like we had a code. She's honestly really cool.
Excuse me, she's really cool? Olive, you're really cool. You tricked Alex. Alex is one of the smartest people that I know, and you tricked him. And you tricked him into going to the headmistress, and you knew. Oh my god, Olive.
That's metal.
It's metal.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
I made
okay.
it good.
Well, the good news though is he's going to be all right. And the headmistress seemed like, you know, it was the right thing to bring him in. But he just might need a bit of time to rest. So I didn't want you getting upset if you didn't hear from him or something, because it's not his fault. He's just resting in the hospital wing.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. And, thank you for looking after him.
I would have come to get you to help with it, but I got a bit nervous that if it was like an imposter Alex or something that, you know, that they would know what was up and be able to tell what was going on, so.
Quick thinking. Very quick thinking.
But just be careful, just in case it was someone else who did it to him, okay?
Okay, you too. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. We could come up with like secret phrases, you know? Like, you know, anyone who is impersonating me would not say that's metal. So you could always just look at me, and if you're unsure if it's me, you can be like, that's metal. And if I'm like, yeah, you know?
Sure.
Like a secret friendship password to make sure that we're the right person.
Like the bean sandwich.
Like bean sandwich.
Okay.
Bean sandwich.
So if I ever think that Masie's been replaced by an imposter, and I say, friendship password. What phrase are you going to say?
I don't know. I feel like suddenly I have to reevaluate everything that I am.
Your favorite Quidditch team. What's your favorite Quidditch team?
My favorite. What about Fiona? What about my
That's a good one. Because no one else will know the name of your broom except for you.
Mm-hmm. And you?
Yeah.
That's true.
Fiona
Swap, no.
sucks.
What?
You see? Now we know that it's her.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise they'll just be like, yeah, I hate Fiona. Because they don't know who Fiona is.
That's true.
It's
Wait, what would mine be though?
I don't know. What makes you really happy? More than anything else?
Swaff.
But could people guess that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Well,
I'll think about it.
what about an animal? What about the name of one of your animals?
Like Thimble.
Like Thimble!
Okay. The animal that's not at Hogwarts because she's not allowed to be. Nobody's ever seen or met her.
No.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely not.
Correct.
Okay, good. Sure.
Hey, this has been an up and down day already, and I'm just glad that you're here, both of you. You know, I'm just glad that I'm glad that I'm not in it alone.
Ditto.
Same.
Same Z's.
Samesies.
Hey,
Okay.
come on inside. The class is about to start.
Okay. I
And here-
grab both of their hands and run in.
You can hear
Track.
Lily sort of motioning and yelling from inside the classroom. And you make your way inside for Transfiguration class. How are you doing, Masie?
I think, like, just a little bit out of it when. I think if you've ever had one of those moments where you've been really emotional and been really worked up about something, and then you cry it out, and then you're kind of like, oh, all right, okay, well, sort of everything's kind of this kind of. I think I'm walking this line between like relief and adrenaline and fear and covering up for like still being quite scared. It's a bit of a yeah.
Okay. So I think
Sorry that you asked.
no, I totally get it. I think that class is probably it's sort of just kind of trailing off in your thoughts, you know, as Transfiguration goes. So it goes. Transfiguration goes. It does that thing where it kind of like goes slowly and quickly at the same time, you know, sort of like when you're not paying attention, you're like, wow, class is really dragging on, but like you're not paying attention to the class at all. So it's not really, it doesn't seem to matter too much. And Transfiguration ends. And you go to potions. And I would like to know how you are all feeling as we near time for Defense Against the Dark Arts and dueling.
I think Masie over the course of the class gets quieter and quieter and kind of regresses a little bit closer to what she was at breakfast. But the noticeable thing is that she's physically shaking. She hasn't eaten. She didn't eat, and she's thrown up everything that she did eat. So she's like physically shaking.
So, Clem, Olive, either of you, if you'd like to make a read between the lines roll, you can.
I'll be honest and say, in character, I think Olive is a little too freaked out at the thought of having to duel that I don't think she would notice enough to read between the lines to begin with.
I'm probably looking around trying to gauge because I'm feeling a bit nervous, but I'm doing one of those like, well, how's everyone else feeling? If they're nervous, then I should be even more nervous.
Okay, Clem, read between the lines.
With Masie, my relationship with Masie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Great. Can I ask a question?
Yes. How are they feeling? How's she feeling?
Run down, exhausted before we've even begun. Empty, like emotionally and physically empty, and a lot of pressure. You've seen her a little bit like this before big Quidditch matches, but not quite to this level. I'm a bit quieter than I would be at pre-Quidditch, but that's probably the parallel that you see there.
Okay.
So, I think the three of you are making your way towards the Defense Against the Dark Arts class as you notice this, Clem.
Hey, I have a question for all of you.
Okay.
So, after Defense Against the Dark Arts, because everything's gonna be fine, what are you guys doing tonight?
Homework?
Homework.
I hadn't really thought past the class, really.
I don't think we should talk about it here.
Right.
Homework.
Okay. Yeah, homework. But after that, I was thinking things have been really crazy, and we have still been expected to do our full course load, and we have still expected to do extracurricular activities. So, how do we feel about hot chocolate in the common room, and I will read you guys the book that I've been writing?
Really?
Clem, that sounds lovely.
Could that be nice? I think that could be nice, you know, like fireplace, hot chocolate, cozy sweater blankets, and then I can just read to you. It's not good, but you know, maybe it could be. I really like it when people read to me, so.
I'm sure
too.
it's going to be great. That sounds perfect.
Okay, cool. Because no matter what's happening, we can still have hot chocolate and hang out. So yeah, let's do that. And we're gonna do so good in Defense Against the Dark Arts. It's gonna be great and fine. So don't worry.
As you walk into the classroom, you can see the dueling platform set up with the there's various ornamentation about dueling and such, and you can maybe hear a few students sort of chatting.
The Hufflepuffs had Defense Against Dark Arts earlier. Did you see anyone with any wounds or anything? No, I didn't. We should be okay. I don't think there will be anything like real serious injuries or anything. I hope not.
Do you think Rosie missed dueling in the hospital wing?
Probably, I guess so, yeah.
Olive's gonna turn to the student that mentioned that the Hufflepuffs had it earlier and go, you wouldn't happen to have heard anything about a pacifist refusing to take part in the Hufflepuffs, would you?
Yeah, you look at fellow Gryffindor. This would be William Cobweb. And he says,
Oh, no, I didn't hear anything, Olive. Sorry.
No news is good news. Thanks, Will.
Hope so.
And she's gonna turn back to the group and go, I think it's safe to say Rosie wasn't there then.
Good for her. You know? Pacifist and all.
Olive's gonna reach over and just hold Masie's hand.
I think Masie quietly cries as she does. This is the everything's really stressful, and if you hug me I will cry kind of mood. And she just brushes something away, tries to be as silent as possible. Squeezes her hand back.
Professor Azolia Bovin walks in, rather confidently, and she, again, as a reminder, has a slender body, shy eyes, and a tense-looking face. She enters the classroom, and immediately everyone starts to quiet down. Looking around the classroom, you can see everyone else is waiting sort of with bated breath as the possibility of having to duel up on a platform, not much higher than ground level, to be fair. It's about a few feet off the ground, like a desk. But it's a very long sort of platform, and you can see that it has the Hogwarts houses inscribed in the wood of the platform. Very sturdy looking, with large posts of legs underneath, and some steps leading up, and on either side. And in the center there is a circle of the platform, and on either side you can see two more smaller circles. Professor Bovin stands in front of the platform with the class sort of spread out, mostly like a semicircle around. And she says,
Now, students, as you are aware, today begins Dueling Practice here at Hogwarts for the Gryffindors and for the Hufflepuffs. Now, I know most of you are probably rather tense about this whole situation, but I assure you, we will do so in a safe environment. There are safety protocols that have been taken, especially with younger students such as yourselves, that are not normally in this dueling class until 4th year. Now, what does that mean for you? Well, that means several things. First and foremost, today we will focus upon defensive spells and defensive spells only. However, we will still be taking a normal dueling stance, as well as having an opponent of sorts. What I would like for each of you to do is to choose a partner, and the way that we will begin class is by teaching you the shield charm. Now, I know many of you have heard of the shield charm, and you have spoken about it in charms class, and it is normally taken and practiced in the 4th year to go along with dueling. However, Professor Flitwick has been teaching this early. So, I would like you to all practice the shield charm as a partner of your choosing will toss this. And she raises her wand, and you can see her muttering something under her breath as several objects begin to float. All around the classroom. And you can see that they are, well, they look a little bit like a ball of some sort, smooth, and about the size of a baseball. They begin to float up around her, and slowly but surely, they begin to float over to every student's hands. And she says, "This will be your practice." And the ball lands in each of your hands. And it is kind of heavy. Maybe weighs about a pound or two. And it is, well, it seems to feel a little bit like a water balloon. And she says, "If the ball penetrates the shield charm, well, you'll be having to cast a drying spell to clear the ramifications. Is this understood?" She looks around. I can't hear you, class.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Professor.
Yes, Professor.
All right, now everyone please partner up.
Just partners. Just two people. Can we be three?
One partner each, please, Miss Skylar.
I'm gonna turn to Lily and ask if Lily could. Lily, do you want to be my partner?
Sure.
It's all right, Masie.
That means Masie, you and Olive can be partners.
Is that okay? Olive, is that?
Yeah, that's. I figured that would be good.
We can take turns. We can trade off when we practice the next spell.
Does that sound good, Lily?
Okay,
Cool.
it'll be all right, Masie.
Thanks, Lily.
It's only water after all. Right?
Yeah. Just a shower in class.
Well, at least Rosie missed it.
So I was thinking at least Rosie didn't have to. Yeah.
Small miracles and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Masie and Olive and me and Clem. Clem, can you just promise not to, well, to hit me in the face?
I would never hit you in the
Your
face.
fists?
I only hit people who deserve it. So.
Okay.
You don't deserve it, Lily. That's what she meant. You don't deserve it.
You'll never deserve it. Yeah, no, you'll never deserve it. Don't worry. There are people who just automatically deserve it. You know what I mean? You ever just meet a really punchable face?
That's not you, Lily. She's not talking about you. She's trying to tell you that you are not punchable.
Yeah,
The
no,
opposite.
minus 100 punchability.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good. All right, everyone, please partner up. And line up.
I would like each of you to roll a d6, please. Okay. The students begin to head up onto the platform. And Professor Bovin walks up to the center as well. Things sort of quiet down a little bit. There's a few whispers and things in the audience here amongst the Gryffindor students. And you can see that Malcolm O'Leary and Bartholomew Witters, one of the occasional entourage of Ashley Indigo, step up onto the platform as Professor Bovin says, "Now, since today is about defensive magic, I would like one of you to throw the ball, the other one to cast the shield charm. And again, students, if Professor Flitwick has not done so, this is how you cast a shield charm." And Professor Bovin begins to circle her wand in the air, and you see this iridescent semicircle of of energy sort of appear in front of her as she says, "Protego!" And both of the Gryffindors sort of nod their heads. She says, "Now, Malcolm, I would like you to throw the ball first, and we will go back and forth." "Okay, Professor Bovin." "All right, Professor. Now, the way that a duel is done here is you will enter the circle on either side. Malcolm, you there? Bartholomew, you there? On the count of 3, you may toss the ball." She steps back away from the central circle, off to the side. And we see both students line up and prepare. Malcolm gets the ball ready. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And Malcolm throws the ball, and Bartholomew raises up his wand. "Protego!" And the shield charm springs to life as we see the iridescent semicircle form. The water splashes against the shield as several droplets of water rain down across the stage. The professor casts another spell, and we see the water dry up. Next, Bartholomew. Several other students begin to take their positions, and much water splashed against the shields. And then she says, "Miss Skylar, you and your partner, please come up, please."
You got this. I'm gonna give her like a very slight push, like on her lower back.
Fall over and turn it into a walk forwards.
It's fun. It's like a snowball fight. Right?
Right, I just don't want to hurt anybody. So much that could go wrong.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I could use a shower. So worst case scenario, I get a good bath out of it.
Now then, a few soggy students here and there doesn't mean much. You'll be fine, Miss Skylar. Take your position, please.
Okay.
All right, Miss Everglade, you'll be throwing the ball first. And remember, Miss Skylar, shield charm, please. Have you practiced?
Yes?
Make a convince roll, please. It was the squeakiest and longest yes ever. You hear a harumph basically come from Professor Bovin, and she looks towards you, Miss Everglade.
Are you both ready?
So when you say throw, did you mean like underhand or I'll figure it out. That's okay.
Protego and the circular.
Yes, Miss Skylar.
Okay.
Now, take your positions. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Protego!
This is a 4th year spell that you are attempting, Masie. So that's
That
a
would
10.
be a -1 on that, yeah, 10. Oh my god. How?
Masie, cast the spell. What happens?
I'm completely taken aback by this shield that just spills out of my wand, and it's quite powerful. I'm not expecting it to be so powerful, so I have to kind of put some room between me and the end of the wand. And I laugh and I'm looking at it, and I didn't think what it would be like looking through this shield at Olive, and it's funny. Like, she's really fuzzy. I can't see her. There's water everywhere. And so there's this moment of like pure joy and like laughter, and all I can see is this absolutely giant shield. It's far bigger. I'm so surprised. Like all of this stuff. Yeah. And it just
Olive looks like she sat in the splash zone at SeaWorld.
Jet. You're all fuzzy. and I'm sorry.
I definitely screamed, by the way. Like when it went well, I was like, ah!
Yeah,
From
Lily's
the
like,
audience.
Good job.
I run straight over to Olive, and I don't care that she's absolutely drenched. I just give her the biggest hug ever, and now I too am also completely drenched. Thank you.
You did it.
I did it.
Well
I
done,
knew you could
Miss
do it.
Skylar.
I did it.
Now, it's your turn. Please return to your position.
Exchange places with Olive.
and you can see Professor Bovin casts a spell on you, Olive. The Drought Charm. Drying you off. And now.
I stand there waiting for her to do it to me because I'm also completely wet, and then I imagine she just doesn't.
She does not.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
On the count of 3, please, Miss Skylar. Miss Everglade. 1, 2, 3.
Potato.
And we see the semicircular shield form in front of Olive as the water splashes harmlessly against the shield charm.
You did it!
I'm
Well done.
screaming again.
Students are cheering as more water falls harmlessly to the ground. Lily and Clem are cheering, and lots of claps and happy whoops around the rest of the classroom.
I run and hug Olive again. She ain't
Olive's
escaping
gonna,
this, Masie.
jump up and down with Masie, and she's gonna go, "It's a 4th year spell. Did you hear? We did it. We did it. I'm not supposed to be able to do it until next year. But I think we did a really good job. I think it worked.
I think we did. Well done. I knew you could do it. You always
could do it.
But I did it too.
Miss Goosanders? Miss Potter?
Yes.
Go on, Cam. Go on, Lily. You've got this. You've got
I'm gonna
this.
give them like low fives as I walk past.
As you low five me, like I'm still completely drenched, and as you low five me, there's just this giant like squelch and like splash of water everywhere.
Okay.
Hey, good luck, Clem.
You too.
And Lily and Clem take their positions. Professor Bovin looks at either of you.
Are you both ready?
Yes.
All right. Please, Miss Potter, if you could throw the ball at Miss Goosanders first. Miss Goosanders, please ready your shield charm.
Okay.
Go on, Clem.
Olive's like holding a little thumbs up and like, "You can do it, Clem."
All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Protego.
What happens as you fail, Clem?
I think pure hubris. Like I was just feeling the hype of what I just witnessed, and I wasn't really paying full attention. Like I wasn't being very diligent in the casting of the spell. I was just kind of like Protego. And so I think I don't know, like maybe it reverse shields or something, like pushes me away or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, so the shield charm doesn't quite work out, as maybe there's it seems very fragile, and the ball of water just kind of instantly crumples the shield charm, and we see bits sort of falling away as you are hit full on with the water, Clem. Drench.
Oh. Oh.
I'm sorry, Clem.
It's okay.
Unfortunate, Miss Goosanders.
Clem, what is your favorite class, by the way? I think it is Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Yeah, it's a Defense Against the Dark Arts.
So that would have been a 6, by the way, but I remembered.
Okay, still okay.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
still doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lily sort of reaches out.
Oh, I think we'll be leaving you that way, Miss Goosanders, for now.
Why?
All right. Okay. It's okay.
Why?
I just like start walking down.
She hasn't been practicing her shield charm, Miss Everglade.
What, just because she couldn't pull it off in front of an entire class, you assume she hasn't tried? You're going to punish her by keeping her wet for it?
Oh, it's okay.
That's nonsense.
Miss Everglade.
You knew that
do you
I
speak-
hadn't practiced, and you still didn't do.
It's okay. Go.
Who do you think you are speaking to?
I think I'm speaking to a very unsupportive professor, and I'm aware that I'm being rude, but I'm a student, and you're supposed to encourage Clem, and you're being really mean, and I've seen how hard she's been practicing, because I practiced with her, and she tried.
Minus 10 points to Gryffindor. You should not be speaking back to your professors, Miss Everglade.
Well, you shouldn't be punishing her
Miss
for trying
Everglade!
her best.
And she casts a spell. And... Olive, you can't seem to open up your lips.
do to her?
The same thing I will do to you if you do not remain silent, Miss Skylar.
What? So it's a problem when the student stands up for another student who's been working really hard and just couldn't do it the one time. I mean, that's a surefire way to make a young witch disinterested in studying just because she couldn't pull it off the first time. Olive's right, you know, and I don't care if you silence me too.
She casts a spell. And you have a difficult time opening up your mouth. And she says, Now! Miss Skylar, 10 more points from Gryffindor. She says, If you had given
I'm
me
stomping my foot in rhythm.
If you had given me a chance to speak, instead of being cheeky, then I would have said, for a moment. But if you continue to speak out of turn in class, well then, I shall remove more points from Gryffindor. And perhaps send you to the headmistress.
She then casts a spell. The Drought Charm on you, Clem. And you are dry again. Lily looks around, and she's biting her lip. She's got a stern expression on her face. She raises her hand.
Professor? No, Miss Potter, I think that's quite enough. Professor? Miss Potter? Professor, I think that was very mean. Do you now? Well then, I shall make a note. Shall we continue the lesson? Fine, I'm ready. Come on, Clem. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Lily readies her wand.
Protego!
Clem, do you throw the water ball?
Yeah, but probably not with like a lot of gumption. You know, I'm just kind of like, this was horrific. A horrific public embarrassment and pain, suffering. So I'm just kind of like,
You
yeah.
throw it, and you see Lily's shield sort of flutter, and it collapses.
Oh, it appears that Miss Potter needs to practice as well.
The professor looks at both Masie and Olive.
I'm going to give her a really dirty look. As soon as she says that, I'm just going to like turn and look at her.
She raises an eyebrow and casts the Drought Charm and dries you off. And then there's another casting of a spell, and you can feel your mouths able to move again, Masie and Olive.
Now, if we can continue with the class, please. Next.
I'm going to go and grab Lily by the hand and walk off the platform with her hand in hand. Like very sternly.
She didn't have to be so mean.
I'm sorry. You guys didn't have to do that, you know. It's too much. Don't get yourselves in trouble just because I couldn't do a spell.
It's not because you couldn't do a spell. It's because she was being really mean about the fact that you couldn't do a spell. She was going
I mean,
to
I
leave
guess I
you
could.
soggy and wet.
I mean, I guess I could have practiced harder.
Well, I didn't
Okay, well,
practice
that's besides the point, though, Clem.
and I didn't practice at all. I guess that's why I'm still.
Well, we made it through. Can't get any worse than that, I guess.
That's probably a good place for us to take our break. Thank you for that setup.
Can't wait to find out how it gets worse.
Thank you for that setup. We're going to take a little bit of a break here, folks. Give the cast a chance to use the bathroom, have a snack, have a drink, etc. So we're just going to be just a few minutes. If you haven't done so, please make sure you follow all of these wonderful people. And you can head on over to tablestory.tv/WAW to go follow them in all the places. And a reminder, this month is September. So maybe consider throwing some subs their way. Get yourself some emotes. Go support these lovely people. It is they do a tremendous job in all the things that they do, and they're wonderful people. Please go give them love and support them. And make sure you're following all of them. Make sure you're following us here on Table Story. Table Story on Twitch, Table Story on YouTube, and come hang out on Discord. We have a Discord for all the different shows and things that we do, and there's a place where you can look for a group and talk about all different kinds of stuff. So come hang out, which is just tablestory.tv/Discord. We have a link there in the chat as well for you to click if that's easy for you. And we've got a bunch of new stuff that's happening. We just started a new show called Spellwind that Mythomatic is GMing. I'm on it. I'm actually a player on that show, so if you want to see me actually be a player, I'm there. And along with Brad Wodo, Pumpkinberry, and Meyer, and it's so good. So come hang out. And we have a new show that's going to be starting this Saturday. That is probably right up your alley. It's the Root Tabletop RPG. We're going to be starting that on Saturday, and Luxie's on that show. So make sure you come watch that. It's 7 p.m. Eastern, so that's midnight UK. I know that's later for you. That's the time that we could make work with our cast. So hopefully we'll see you for that. It's gonna be good stuff. So come check that out. You're gonna see a teaser for it. On the break. So check it out, and hopefully we'll see you real soon. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. Hang tight for more Witchcraft and Wizardry. As Defense Against the Dark Arts wraps up, the Gryffindors are, well, a little upset with Professor Bovin. How's everybody feeling otherwise?
Otherwise?
Honestly? Like, is this an honest, actual question?
Yeah. I want you to lie.
Fine. So good. Just nailing it. Crushing life.
Maisie's not said anything. She's just been grumpy and staring and think toddler's drop equivalent.
Okay.
I think Olive is somewhere between being just as mad and then every now and then really angrily looking over at Clem like, you did a really good job, Clem. Like, I could tell you were really trying. And then she'll just go back to frowning into space.
So, class is wrapped up. And where are you headed?
What time of day is it?
Well, it's your last class on Monday.
Food?
Should
Great
we
Hall?
go to
Dinner
the
time?
hospital wing to see if... should we go to the hospital wing to see if Alex and Rosie are okay?
Yes, that's a great idea.
Don't forget, we have the, thing tonight.
Yeah. No, definitely. You guys didn't really have to do that, just so you know. Like, you don't got to do that. I mean, I really appreciate it. But I just don't want you guys to get in trouble just because I'm bad at magic.
Well, you're not bad at magic, and she didn't have to make you feel so bad about it either. So, I think we're even.
It was really weird what she did with your mouths.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to be talking to the headmistress about that. We're friends now.
Your friends? Cool. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm all for shutting me up, if I'm being honest. Like, I get it. I would probably do the same if I were teaching me as a teacher. But,
You would have much
talking
more
about?
respect than that.
well, I wouldn't use magic to, like, force a student to do it. Or just tell them to shut up. Probably wouldn't last long as a teacher, to be honest.
I think you'd be a really good teacher, actually.
Me too.
I would do well as, like, a homeschool teacher for students who get kicked out of Hogwarts or something.
Like rebellious student teacher.
I don't think I would do well being in a classroom and being all serious and, oh, Miss Everglade this and Miss Gorshan does that. Like, I just couldn't do it. No, bored just thinking about it.
So what you're trying to say is that you would teach students like us?
No.
That's what you're trying to say, Olive.
No.
You'd
You could
only
teach
not what-
teach Swaff. You'd just be Swaff's personal tutor.
Well, there are going to be other members of SWAF in the future. You know, future generations of SWAF. They'll need
mean, like,
teachers.
Our kids.
Oh, I'm not
I know.
having kids.
Well, not Clem's kids, apparently.
What do you
Yours
mean?
and
I would
Alex
feel
is.
left out.
You just said you didn't want any.
I'm having children with Alex now? Well, if it's a bit early for that.
I'm saying you...
But you've
How
been
did I
on
get
dates,
onto
aren't you?
this? I just said I didn't want to be a teacher.
No, you said future generations of Swaff, and I thought you meant children, but do you mean like the next, like, are we gonna recruit first years?
No.
Does that mean that we have
couldn't
to have
trust him.
kids with Swaff in order for them to be Swaff kids?
That would be like a pureblood Swaff, but you don't have to be a child of Swaff to be a child of Swaff. You can be like a thought child of Swaff to be a child of Swaff.
I think maybe the easiest solution is I just don't become a teacher one day. I think that solves everything that we have going on conversationally.
I guess it might.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just thought you'd be a good one.
Well, that's why I'm going to have only one student, and it's your kids, apparently. Be a private tutor.
Not decide that Alex and I are going to have children before we
I just said
even
yours.
Oh,
Who's jumping to conclusions now, Masie?
you said
Oh.
Alex. You said Alex. You said yours and Alex. That's what you said.
Well, I didn't say it this time.
You didn't have to.
But they'd be so cute. They'd be so cute.
Stop it.
All right. I'm just saying, you know, you need a good tutor one day.
And I'm
Guess I
just
could free up
saying-
my schedule. We should go to the hospital wing, though. We don't want to, you know, we have things to do. Very important homework.
Will he remember who I am?
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't he?
Well, I just don't really know much about the forgetfulness potions.
I
I don't
think he
think
only...
Alex could forget you if he tried.
It's just a few hours, not years.
So will he forget that I threw up this morning? Or... Because it was
Would you want him to forget that you threw up this morning? Yeah, he forgot. He didn't mention it at all.
But what did he really do, Olive? I don't want to hear what you think I want to hear. I want to hear actually what he remembers.
I'm just assuming. When I saw him, he thought it was breakfast. So, unless it happened before breakfast, I think you're in the clear.
Oh. You think, Clem?
I
Wait, what? He
mean,
thought it was breakfast? But we
He
saw
w-
him. We saw him after he supposedly took the forgetfulness potion, right? And that's when you were throwing up. So
I mean, there's only one way to find out for sure, right?
Let's go. I mean, if I can cast Protego, I can do anything, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Clem. I didn't mean. I just meant that, like. Usually I'm really bad at magic,
believe
and-
that you just said that to me.
I'm really sorry. I didn't think I just.
Really, it was so inappropriate. I mean,
I'm
I
so
couldn't
sorry.
cast Protego either.
I'm so sorry. I just expected that I wouldn't get it right, and I was trying to feel good about myself, and I
You know
didn't
she doesn't pick up on
Masie.
sarcasm.
I'm sorry. Masie, I was being sarcastic. I was making a joke.
What? So you're not mad at me?
No, it's silly. If I was mad at you, it would be so silly of me to be mad at you. The joke is that it would be so stupid to be mad at you about that's why I was making the joke. So you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
We all make
I'm sorry.
mistakes on spells all the time. You know, except for Olive.
Except
Oh,
for
that's
Olive.
not true. You just only see when I do well. You just don't see the ones that don't go well.
Alright, so we share a dorm, we spend all the time together, and we're in all of the same classes, and we don't see all of your spells that you secretly cast in private
Yes,
Secretly
that's
private
correct.
spells.
and get wrong. We only see
Just
the good
all of
ones
them,
because the bad
yeah.
ones don't exist.
You're not with me 24/7. You don't know.
I think we have to stick with her 24/7 from now on to
I
confirm
think we
this.
should.
we
It's the
do.
only way to. It's the only way to find out about this spell
Your rule of
casting
swap.
dilemma.
Yeah,
Well,
we have to see every spell you cast.
you're about to learn a lot about me then. I have a whole secret life at night when you all go to sleep.
How many animals exactly did you smuggle? Because
I think
it's
the
enough to
visiting
have a
hours
secret
at the
life
hospital
with-
wing are going to be over soon if we don't
There's
head
that
out.
Reflect, okay,
one,
Um,
and then the
and
other.
Olive's gonna start walking towards the hospital wing.
I think I remember the drawer rattling.
Do we know where Rosie is? It's just I didn't I feel like I probably should eat something, and it's been a long time since I felt hungry because we spend so much time with Rosie that I kind of forgot what it felt like, and now I'm like feeling a bit fuzzy, and I just feel like Rosie could fix it. She's good at cookies and
Rosie is very good at cookies. I think that she will probably have done some cookie fixing.
Is she still in the hospital wing, Olive?
I mean, she may have left during class, but she was there when I left.
Can we take something for her? I mean, now that's just gonna sound like I want something to eat, but and I do, but that's not what I mean. I just think that if Rosie has been in the hospital wing, then she's gonna want a fresh supply of cookies, and it will really cheer her up. So if we can find some on the way to the hospital wing, then maybe that would be a nice thing to do. Or some potatoes.
What about both potatoes and cookies?
Yes.
She ever
Okay.
made potato cookies?
Yes, I think so. Or maybe that was just when the mashed potato had been in her pocket so long and then she accidentally sat on it. And then there was those things that we thought that might be chocolate chips, but I'm not really sure what they were actually.
Actually, pretty surprised she's still alive, to be honest.
Yeah. Maybe we can stop by and see Lottie on the way.
Right. Should we divide and conquer, or?
Maybe we should just go together. I mean, it can't take us too long to swing by the kitchens and grab something and then go to the hospital wing, can it? Will it? I don't really, I'm not very good with timing.
If we just speed, then we can get there in time, I think.
Right.
Unless you wanted to split up, Olive, if in case there was something you needed to grab or do or something.
No, I'm just nervous about, keeping our tutor waiting. Am I?
Oh,
we still have time though, don't we?
Yeah, it's not for a little while.
I just don't want to lose track of time, so that's okay. I'll just keep an eye out.
okay. We'll be efficient and swift. Swifficient.
Swafficient.
Swafficient.
I high five Lily. I'm still drenched, by the way. I feel like I might have dried part of the way through the class, but
So,
Olive's gonna start, leading the way, but still checking her watch every couple seconds.
okay. 2 hairs past a freckle. And, you pick up some food and you make your way to the hospital wing. Alex, Rosie, what's going on as you see your friends walking?
Oh, we can see them coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I freeze.
Hi!
Hi.
I leave.
I start making my bed.
With you in it? Or did you
No,
pop out?
I get it. My back to them. Fix it.
I lead with a cookie, and I feel like before I've even got within touching distance of Rosie, she's there.
Oh my god. What is that? Is that for me? Can I have this? I've been eating all my day old cookies and it was so sad. So good. Thank you.
Aside from the cookie, how are you feeling?
Me?
Rosie, who else did we just hand a cookie to?
I just didn't know if you were talking to Alex because Alex is here too.
Hi, Alex.
Alex is tired. It looks like.
Hi, Alex.
Are you okay?
They're just fixing the bed.
Masie, it's been so long. Can I have a big hug?
I give her a big hug.
I would like to quietly whisper in Masie's ear, I think you should go talk to Alex.
Is he okay?
No, love you. Thank you so much for the cookie.
I walk over to Alex, and as I see him smooth part of the bed down, I just, really quietly just put a cookie on the bit of a bed that he smoothed down.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
I hurt your feelings.
You didn't hurt my feelings.
Your feelings got hurt because of something I said. It's the same, really.
What are you talking about, Alex? When?
At breakfast, the real breakfast, not lunch breakfast.
Alex, it's okay. That wasn't you. I was just really nervous and sick, and you tried your best, and you don't need to be sorry.
That was lunch. You were sick at lunch. Lunch breakfast.
What happened at breakfast?
Breakfast, when you said that I called you boring and that Rosie was more fun than you and the other stuff, it's still a bit fuzzy, and you got mad and you didn't sit next to me, and then I had to go away.
Oh. Yeah. It's just you said that you wanted somebody else on our date because she's
It
fun,
wasn't.
and
I didn't. Okay.
I mean,
I
don't
thought
know what
about
can
how
get
I could. Can I try and say it how it was supposed to be said?
Okay.
Barney wouldn't ask Rosie out because he was too nervous. And I wanted an excuse to bring them together to make it easier. And because our last date ended with my wand making a big explosion, we could just say that we were nervous about going on another date because that one had such a bad thing happen at the end of it, just so that they would feel like they had a reason to be there. And, oh, Rosie's so much fun, she'll make it bright so we won't have to think about the thing blowing up. It was just really an excuse, but I was so focused on helping Barney out with that, I didn't think how it would sound to you, or I didn't even explain it properly because my head goes too fast sometimes and only some of the words get out properly. But it wasn't like, you're not like, you're not boring, and Rosie's fun, sure, but it's like I feel excited just to see you. You don't even have to be doing anything, and it like it's fun just to be around you without doing anything. Even you don't even have to be fun for you to be fun. Am I making sense? Like you can just be like, you don't have to try and make me feel better. Just you being around makes me feel better. Not when you're angry at me though, because that means I did something that made you feel a bad thing. I don't want you to feel a bad thing. Did any of that make sense?
I think so.
Because it was all meant to be good things. I don't want that to sound like bad things.
I know. I know. Thank you. That's might just be the nicest thing that anybody's ever said about me. That's just better when I'm around.
It is. Things are just better. Like sausages taste better.
And they really are your favorite.
Yeah, and I am a little hungry. But I can wait until I finished apologizing properly.
I don't really know what to say, Alex. You've been so nice, and it's and what I'm supposed to say or do.
What do you? How are your feelings? What are your feelings? What are you feeling?
I like roll the bedsheet between my fingers. Bedsheet? How well you've made the bed?
What your inside feelings? Are you happy or sad?
I am relieved, I guess. I
think relief's a happy feeling. I count it as a happy feeling. Or a good one, at least.
I don't know if I ever really did think that you wanted to date Rosie, but that's what it felt like. Because you wanted to spend time with her because she's fun, and
No, see, that's
and
not
I'm a lot
why.
of things, Alex, but I'm not very fun.
You are very fun. But that wasn't it. That was just the reason that was the cover story that we were telling people for the reason we wanted her to come along. We really were just going to leave her and Barney together and go, oh, we forgot to grab cheese. And then we couldn't say that because she has cheese for sure. We would think of something that Rosie never has in her pockets. Soap. We forgot soap. And then we would run off to get soap, but really we were just leaving Barney and Rosie together to talk and feel comfortable with each other, and then we'd have a secret date somewhere where we just chat and just hang out and I don't know, I don't care what we do. I'd just be around and just absorb the amazingness and trying not to say anything stupid.
Maybe we can get Rosie and Barney together on a date, and we can go on the date and ask them to help us and all of those things, and then maybe we can surprise them like Rosie was going to do with us with the basket, but like safe, like something safer, not something that's going to involve exploding wands and
I don't know. We can think about it though, but first I think I owe you a proper date that doesn't end with a physical injury. I don't know if that one counts, so would you like to go in another and would you like to go on another date?
like just us.
Yeah, just us.
Yes, please, Alex, I would.
Okay, cool. What about when are you free?
Tomorrow, am I free? I don't know. But I would like to.
Okay,
I'm not just
cool.
saying I don't know because I'm saying yes and then never giving you a time. That's not the kind of okay that this
Right.
is. This is like an
Yeah.
actual okay where I do really want to do it, and I'm really
Okay.
pleased that you asked. But the thing is, I just probably need to consult my diary, which I don't have with me, and I would like to do that before I set a date because I don't want to have to let you down.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Wanna hug?
Definitely.
I kind of nervously offer a hug.
I'll walk into his hug and rest my head in like the crook of his shoulder and neck.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling?
Much better. I can't tell why. Maybe it's because Rosie's around.
I take a step back.
So it's a joke, I'm sorry. That was a joke. Was it a bad joke? It's
Yes.
definitely because you're around and I got a hug.
Oh,
I'm sorry, let me make it up to you. And I, as quick as I can, give her a peck on the cheek. Sausages! And I run out towards the Great Hall.
I like look around the room to see if anybody saw that.
We can have some notice something rolls.
I
was gonna say,
Yeah.
So, who wants to make the roll?
Wait, can't we all? Can we
Nope.
all just notice? No?
Nope.
Okay.
I would like to make a notice something roll.
Okay, and who would you like to help, Clem or Olive?
Am I helping someone?
No, they're helping you.
Oh, Oh, who would I would like to help me, Clem or Olive? Great question. I love that
assume
you asked
everyone is trying to eavesdrop.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just do Clem.
Okay.
Y'all are the same for me, so.
Okay. So I think you caught part of the conversation, but I think you missed the peck on the cheek.
Dang it! But so what I did hear is I did hear Alex's bad joke to Masie, so I can rag on him later. Okay, good, because that's what I wanted to really pick up on. So I could be like, Alex, what were you even thinking? Thank you.
You definitely all saw him like run off.
You ran away,
all, like hiding behind
I
stuff.
yelled sausages and
You yelled sausages and dipped.
yes.
Did Masie go? Is Masie going with him?
Masie is just like stood frozen still with this look of complete disbelief. She sort of looks like she's simultaneously about to scream, burst into tears, and like cry of happiness and cry of surprise. Like, there's just a lot going on, but she's just very still.
Clem, is Masie okay? She looks like she might pee her pants.
She looks like she's got some bucketing going on. It's a bucket.
Why did he yell sausage like that?
He must be hungry. Oh my gosh. Masie, you should take him to the Great Hall. I think Alex is hungry.
You okay?
Are you okay?
over there?
Clem, did he fart?
No.
You don't think he's...
Oh, he might have. Masie, did he
Do you
fart?
want me to waft the area, Masie?
He kissed me.
What? What?
The boy kissed me.
Oh, that's the opposite of a fart, right? A kiss?
Yeah, I think it's the opposite. On your cheek.
Are you sweaty?
What do I do?
What do you mean? I think you should go hang out with him, right? You're having like a
chase
moment.
him. Yeah, you go
go?
have dinner.
Yeah,
with
we
go,
start
go,
running.
Go, go,
Start
go, go, go,
running.
go.
I run out.
Masie chases after Alex. What about the three of you? What are you doing?
Oh my god.
What do we do?
God. Oh my god. We need to eat dinner too, right?
Yeah, but should we like walk slowly?
Definitely.
Should we like take food from the kitchens and like let them have the table to themselves?
Oh,
No, a fourth date. Fourth
we could
date.
do that. We could just go up early to the, grab some food, bring it up, have
That's
a
good
little
idea.
picnic.
Sounds nice. Picnic sounds nice. Notoriously difficult things to do in this castle, but it does sound nice.
So he
Picnics
like
don't seem to go well here, do they?
I just don't like people going outside and eating, I guess. I don't know.
So he to clarify, he didn't fart, right?
No, he kissed her.
Well,
Oh, we didn't
it
do
could have
both.
been both.
It's an
Can you
excellent
fart while you're
distracting.
kissing someone?
I wouldn't know the answer to that question.
Well, not at the same time, but it doesn't
Oh, no, do I
mean
have to
it
worry
couldn't have.
about something?
You can't
We're
fart and kiss
talking
at the
for
same
a
time.
while.
Why not?
I'm not saying they couldn't. I'm just saying it doesn't have to by default mean it happened at the same time. They were talking
Oh,
for
no.
what?
Nothing. It's just, never mind.
Oh no, Clem.
What?
No, Clem was worried about me because I eat a lot of garbage, and there's a chance that when I potentially have my first kiss, that I might fart and kiss at the same time, right, Clem?
Yes.
Rosie, didn't you have your first kiss already?
I don't think that counted because of the whole manipulation thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I like to think that that was a magically induced kiss, like almost like you have a magically induced coma sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Like,
that
you
wouldn't
don't think of it as
count.
your first coma because it's magically induced.
No, yeah, exactly.
You think we're going to have a lot of comas?
There's a chance. Who could know? I hit my head all the time. You
Well,
don't?
It's a good thing that we have Madame Bumfrey, I guess.
I think I'm ready to leave. If
Yeah.
anyone else is.
Yeah. No, I'm good to go.
Same.
All right. And off you go. Meanwhile, Alex, you are rushing off as quick as can be. Please be quick and quiet.
An 8.
An 8. Masie, could you please be quick and quiet? Ooh. I think, Alex,
Mm-hmm.
which are you trying to be, quick or quiet?
Quick, for sure.
Okay. You can probably hear Alex rushing down the steps, Masie. And you're a little flustered chasing after him. What do you think happens?
I think I'm babbling to myself, like, oh my god, and then what? And I'm so, like, also, it's really important to remember that I have not eaten all day, and I threw up. So I'm like shaking, there's adrenaline, a boy just kissed me. I'm like babbling to myself, I'm a bit all over the place. I'm pretty dizzy anyway. I probably like nearly fall over about 100 times. Like, there's no way that I have the capacity or brain space right now to be quick or quiet in any capacity.
Mm-hmm. You can maybe hear someone rushing after you and babbling behind you, Alex, as you're rushing. Where are you going?
Sausages.
Okay. You are rushing to the Great Hall. You're pretty quick here, even though you can hear someone babbling incoherently behind you. Notice something.
Yeah.
You definitely think it was Masie.
Babbling. I sked to a halt and pulled my wand and rushed back towards her.
Rushing back up the steps.
Yeah.
See Alex and Masie, you're sort of probably sprawled like on the floor, stubbed your toe on probably a suit of armor or something.
Are you okay?
Do I need to?
I heard strange noises.
I was just coming to find you,
Oh.
and you know,
Okay.
like sausages.
Right, did you want to go and get them? We can just go to the Great Hall together if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, let me help you up.
Thank you. I don't politely use Alex's weight. Like, I really use him and only him to get up. Like,
Yeah. Once I help you up, well, let's go to the Great Hall. I just don't let go of your hand. As we go. It was that okay?
which part?
Well, you made the part that you did first technically. Yes, yesterday I was making it even.
Well, they said you had a forgetfulness potion. I wasn't quite sure how much you would remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
Alex, you kissed me.
No, you did it first.
That's true.
Yeah. we're even balls in your court.
Oh. Wait, does that mean it's my turn?
I don't know if that's how it works.
Like we have to take it in turns to.
I don't know. I was just feeling it in the moment, like to rescue myself from a bad joke. So maybe we just as we feel it in the moment. We just go with the flow.
Okay.
Okay. You're looking a little bit pale. Are you feeling okay?
I just it's been a strange day, Alex. It's been a strange day.
Yeah, and as I forgot some of it, and then I remembered it again. So.
Yeah, I cast Protego. A really good one.
It's really?
Yeah, really good one.
I knew you could do it.
Oh, I didn't.
You're amazing. I did, so just trust me, because I'm pretty smart. I don't know if you've heard.
I have, actually. I did know that one.
Oh, okay. Well, good job. It's fourth year, so it's tricky. Extra, I was reading the magical development book that I read over the summer. The part of the reason that they stagger spells, it's because obviously they're technically difficult when it comes to incantations and wand movements, but there's also an aspect of it that's to do with, you can call them like magical pathways or like the brain magic connection stuff, and just like that needs to learn how to kind of control and channel more powerful magic, so the harder spells. And so for you to do that means that you've got some good channels.
Thank you. I like your channels too.
Yeah, that just means that you're that you always have it within you to be able to do that.
I do.
So it's not just a one-off. You can always be amazing.
And you can always be and Alex. You can always be well, you can always be you.
That works.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like you lots.
I still holding Alex's hand, lead him into the Great Hall to our little normal place, normal area.
And you can see your table and the smells of dinner await.
I'll check the table real quick just to be safe. I sit on the bench. Can it take a look under for any strangeness?
Sure. Please investigate.
$11.
Okay, you can ask me some questions.
Are there any traps?
Yes, but not the one that you're expecting. As you're investigating, you can see Gale Greytwig making her way over to you. Something seems strange about her. She looks a little off to you.
Okay, so I guess that kind of covers. Is there anything strange physically about this?
You can ask that, and I can give you more information.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm. Gail looks like she hasn't slept. There's bags under her eyes, and she... I think she's kind of mumbling a little bit to herself or something as she's making her way over to your table.
Masie, okay, real quick. Gail's coming over here, and something looks strange about her. Something's...
Oh, she does not look well.
Keep your wand just in case she's got a curse on her or something. Keep your wand to hand. I'll talk to her.
Okay.
Because she'll probably want to talk to me because we're Ravenclaw, and then...
That's when I read about that, and I would like to know if, what do I know that's related to this?
It's who do I know that's related to it?
Oh, who do I know that's related to it?
Still want to ask that question?
Yes.
Okay. You have visited your mom in St. Mungo's many times now. You have seen some patients that look a little bit like the way that Gail looks right now.
Is it dangerous?
Oh, yes.
And I want to ask, where is it from? But what I really want to ask is, like, what's it caused? Like, how did this happen? Where did she get this from?
You are running through your memories as quickly as you can. You're doing that thing where it's like you get a flash of sort of like, you know, like a memory or smell or something that associates you with this situation, with this time, with this feeling. And you're remembering that there were patients in St. Mungo's that had gone mad before. And she looks a lot like that. And that is where we're going to end the episode today.
Oh.
Thank you so much for being here today, everybody. It's time for some end of session stuff. We've got some end of session stuff to do. And I'll leave the creepy music on just to, you know, keep you in the headspace.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Thank you.
To help with the anxiety.
That's thoughtful, really, Whack.
I can play happy music if you'd like. Would you like me to play happy music? Would that make you feel any better?
No, none of it would make me feel better. Thank you.
Sure. Well, let's try it anyway. Let's play some happy music. Let's see if it works. Shall we? Let's go with this one.
Wow, pure mockery.
Whack? Mocking me? It's more likely than you think.
Mock Steven.
Wow.
Mock Steven.
Let's do some end of session stuff. Let's do that. We do have some end of session mechanics. But if you haven't done so, please make sure you're following all of these wonderful people. head on over to tablestory.tv/WAW, where you can follow them in all the places. And you can download the system for free. It's totally free. You can find people that are also looking to play. There's a lot of people that are looking for groups in our Discord, in the Looking for Group channel. Go check it out. Head on over to tablestory.tv/Discord if you want to hop in there and find some people that are also looking for groups and stuff. Not just for this, but also other games as well. We got a lot of different games and things going on there, so go check it out. But we do have some end of session mechanics and things to do. So let's go around the room here. Anybody have any traits that they would like to adjust, or if they feel like they have strayed from any traits that they have?
I don't think so. I think I'm pretty solid on these for now.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, same.
All right, fair enough. Relationships.
I'm gonna give Masie a -1. Just for not getting my joke. I'm kidding, it's a +1.
Oh my
Obviously.
god.
You wrecked everyone with that one.
After all I did for you.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks, but you're no Masie.
Oh my god!
After what we had together, the special Russian spy connection, I'm hurt. Hurt.
Savagery, absolute savagery.
My +1 goes to Alex too.
Why? My +1 to Alex.
That's curious.
Because it's not a +1 to Zagadicus. It's a +1 to Alex.
Where's the line with any of us anymore
Just-
is my question.
Just a reminder that these relationships are to the characters. For the characters.
What
Oh,
characters?
I have a separate document I keep for the cast plus and -1s.
Hey, can you link me that? For no
I have
reason
a
at all.
separate one that I keep for Wax Steven, and I just give him as
Wow.
many -1s as I can every week, every cliffhanger.
Oh my god.
Every
I
cliffhanger.
actually
Oh,
write
yeah.
a detailed YouTube comment, which I will then post at the end of the series, just on every video.
Yeah.
Just a
Oh, good.
review.
Colo has so many -1s for me that she's actually drawn the cliff with them. It's a cliff of -1s. Like, you know how people
So
will use
creative, Colo? Wow.
people will use typography to draw things. Like that's
Yeah.
it.
My little
What is
black
it?
book.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
I
I
write
get
Like a
that?
down
Bible. It's
I
like a
write
mini
down
pocket
Gideon's
Bible.
Bible.
all of your misdemeanors and slights.
Can you
Miscreants.
privately DM me what my misdemeanors are? I would love to know.
I don't think the character limit's long enough, so it might.
All right, who's next? Relationships.
I have a +1 to Alex. We had a moment, but I don't want to give him the satisfaction, so.
I-
I'm gonna give my +1 to Clem,
Oh.
just because I love Clem. That's it.
Oh. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna give my +1 to Masie. It's actually really hard because I wish I could give a +1 to both Olive and Masie, but I'm gonna give one to Masie because I think that while I'm very surprised and honored that Olive stood up for me, I also like sort of feel like Olive yelling at a teacher for my honor kind of still fits within the like understanding of things that Olive would do. Whereas I feel like Masie had to really overcome some serious walls and personal stuff in order to do it. So I'm going to give my +1 to Masie.
Awesome.
I'm so proud.
Okay, it's class's school rules. Please take note of any special bonuses you may have this week. Okay, and where am I starting with? Rosie? Rosie was the first one?
Mhm.
Okay. Alrighty. Rosie gets an 8. That's +5 points for the Hufflepuffs.
Maisie's one, I think, actually, with relationship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
that
oh,
one,
okay.
sorry.
Alright. Well, then I shall start with the Gryffindors. Masie with a +5 for the Gryffindors. Olive and Clem as well. So this is 305. That's right. And the Hufflepuffs, I added Rosie's in, and now 2 more rolls for the Hufflepuffs. Ooh, that's a 4. Sorry. Next one. Hey, that's a 12. 10 points. Okay. Next up, we have Alexander with an 8 for the Ravenclaws. Gets 5 points. And that is a 10 for Ravenclaw. That's 10 points. And last roll is an 8. That is 5 more points for Ravenclaw. Okay, Slytherin gets 15. And I need to do one more roll. And that is a 5, unfortunately. Sorry, Slytherin. Okay. And let's go around the room and do our shoutouts and downtime moves. Shoutouts and downtime moves. Please remember, everybody, it is Subtember. Consider throwing a sub to these wonderful people. Get yourself some emotes. Support these wonderful people, please, if you haven't done so. Make sure you're following them as well. Let's start off this week with Colo.
Hi. I would like to do a job, please, for this week.
Okay, get some money.
It's just a 2d6, isn't it?
That is correct. Okay, 5 galleons.
Okay. Yeah, hi. I'm Colo. It's nice to meet you. Hi. You can find me on the internet under the name Hello. It's Colo, all one word. I'm currently playing a lot of Mass Effect every Monday on Twitch. You can catch it and then uploaded to YouTube every Wednesday. So if you're somebody on YouTube you prefer to watch over there, come say hi on YouTube. That'd be pretty snazzy. This week I am playing the new Life is Strange. We'll be playing that on Friday. It comes out this week and I am super duper excited to get stuck in. So if you wanna join for a first fresh play of the new Life is Strange, you can come and find me at 6 p.m. BST on Friday. Also, we do this thing every week that I've never mentioned here, and I feel like I should mention it. On Sundays we get together and we talk about our little victories for the week. And it's just a space where we can get together and share the stuff that we're proud of. And sometimes it's like a real big thing, and sometimes it's like, hey, I made it through, or like I looked after myself in this particular way this week. I did this thing that I'm really proud of, or I tried something, or I worked on something, or I connected with somebody, or all of that kind of stuff. And it's becoming the highlight of my week to just hear all these beautiful things. And I would love to hear yours. So if you want to come and share that, come do that on Sunday on Twitch. That'd be pretty snazzy too.
Thank you so much, Colo. Luxie?
Why would you make me follow that wholesomeness when you know I'm the exact opposite? Come hang out if you want to talk about butts, I guess. It'll never be that good. Okay, I would like to attempt to make a swelling solution, which I think is a really cool potion to have on hand because it doesn't require drinking. It swells the person on contact, which I think sounds useful in a battle. So, good to have in a pocket. Actually, probably dangerous to have in a pocket if you think about it. I'm just gonna roll for that and hope that it's perfect. Close. It's a 9.
It is a swell solution.
Oh my god. How do I notate that?
What I normally do is put rolled a 9 in brackets next to it, so I know the exact number.
Oh, I've been doing. Wow, thanks for reminding me the exact system I also have been using. Okay, perfect. Thanks.
I would like to point out that Luxie actually practices alchemy at on her stream.
Wait. That was a 2. I actually got a 10. It's a year 2.
Aha, you did. It is a perfect potion. Swelling solution. Very nice.
Okay, sorry. Forgot about that. I always try to do year younger just in case. I don't dare try year 3s because they're so hard. Anyway, I have been practicing alchemy. That game is really fun. If you like potion making, there's a game that's out in demo right now called, what's it called? Alchemy something. Potion Craft, and it's so fun. It's not fully released yet, but there's still so much content. If you want to play it for free, you can. Anyways, hi. I stream video games. I don't know if you knew that or not by what I just said, but I do for a living. I'm currently, well, after this, I'm gonna go play The Sims. They just refreshed a pack where you can now have nails. So I'm gonna play with that later tonight, and probably with one of my chaotic families. I have 3 triplets in The Sims, and they all just aged up into young adults, and they are all completely different people, and I've been rolling dice for their sexuality, which I think is the most fun thing ever. But I put heterosexual on there twice because it feels so common, which I think is very fine now, unfortunate, but
so
all
you're
of them turned out.
saying they're disexual?
Yeah, disexual. I have a whole list if you're interested. Do you want to retract that so that nobody throws up, or do you want to just...
I think I'm just
You're
gonna
welcome.
go die. Just gonna.
Oh, no!
There's still
Anyways,
time for us to
bye.
roll a few more out.
See you later. Goodbye.
Hey, nice one.
Oh! Please.
Can I give everyone a -1? Can I? Whack, please.
I'm gonna make a potion for my downtime.
No. Sorry, it took me a second, but I had to find this correct sound effect. There you go.
Thanks.
Myrtles.
Oh, hello. Hi. Yes. What am I gonna do? That's a good question. You know what? Today was rough, so I'm going to practice my spell casting. And hopefully that does something for me.
Good luck.
Well, so yeah. Hi, I'm Murgles. Do I die if that happens? Nothing happens, right?
No,
Like
you
if it just fails.
No, it's really
don't
just
end
up
up in
to
the
you.
hospital wing.
It's really just up to you what happened when you're trying to practice your spells.
Cool. Hello, I'm Murgles. I would love to tell you what I do. I don't know. That's a really good question. If you know, please let me know. I am an animator and a storyboard artist by trade, but I've been working really hard in my regular day job. And normally I'm supposed to be animating a film on my channel, making a film from scratch. I've been working on it for a year and a half, and by working on it for a year and a half, I mean I've been working on it for a year and hiatusing it for a half is what it feels like at this point. So I don't really know what to tell you, but I am an animator. So if you're interested in animated content, and eventually I'll start working on it again, you can come find me on Twitch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Murgs. Yes, and if you didn't know, Murgles did a charity event. Do you want to talk about that too, Murgs? Because that went really well.
Yes, it went super, super well. We doubled our goal for the day, which was super exciting.
What charity was this?
It was for the Trans Empowerment Project, which is an organization that basically works to give assistance and support to trans folk, two-spirited, and NB friends, primarily in the United States, and with a focus on disabled BIPOC trans folk. So disability BIPOC trans folk. Super great organization. Very, very passionate about what they do, and it was a wonderful joy to do that charity stream and to support them. So go check them out, please. They do great, great work.
Thank you so much, Murgs. I got Oryx.
I'm not even gonna try to do anything hard today because I can't take it if it doesn't go well. we're just gonna do social activities. And y'all, if I roll below a pass, we're not gonna acknowledge it. We're gonna pretend like it never happened, and we're gonna pretend like I just didn't get a downtime move this week. All right? Can we just all agree, just as a community, to do that?
No, we've
Luckily, we don't have to.
Has that ever happened? Have I ever rolled a green in a downtime move ever?
Yes, you
Ever?
Yes.
like
Okay.
4 times.
Check the
Me.
spreadsheet.
Yeah, there's a spreadsheet. There's a spreadsheet.
Yeah, there's a spreadsheet now. Cool. I get a +1 forward to my read between the lines. I literally don't think I've ever had that before. I don't think that has ever happened. So thank you for being a part of that. I appreciate it. I'm technically a full-time streamer, but I'm not streaming right now because I have some weird health stuff going on. So if you want to hang out and play video games together, it's just so it's so hard to be you right now. I am so sorry. That's not gonna happen for you. That's not happening at all. So I don't know. Hit me with your suggestions, y'all. I'll live tweet movies. We'll do silly stuff on Fan House. I'm hanging out here in the meantime and taking care of my pee-soaked cat. That's currently, I'm looking at her shake herself off onto my bookshelf over there. It's a real good time. My cat peed herself in the middle of the show. I'm just gonna stop talking.
Please don't. That was so good. Yeah, it was so good. It was the best one we've ever had. All of you better go follow her right now.
Coming off of her while she was shaking herself.
Oh.
I can't.
Afternoon shower.
Anyway, come say hi sometime. I don't know. I'll be back to making content soon. Woo!
Please go send Neg some love. Please. Please. Zagonicus.
Hi, I'm gonna make a potion. And I'm gonna make a Vitamix Potion, which is a year 1 potion. It gives you a burst of energy. So
I'm honestly surprised Clem hasn't been like only making these to replace the coffee.
It's not coffee. That's the thing. That's what no one understands. Oh, wow.
Okay. A
15.
Hell yes. Hi everyone, I'm Scoticus. I played Alex for you today. I hope you enjoyed. You can find me in all the internet places. It's Scoticus on all of them. If you're a fan of my roleplay, check out the wonderful Pumpkin Berries highlights. Pumpkin Berries, a GM here on Table Story. And last night, I did some roleplay with her in Red Dead Redemption 2 on Wild RP, and we play Alder and Sully. We're supernatural investigators investigating the West Files. So it is extremely silly. So check that out. That's on twitch.tv/pumpkinberry. Go check out the highlight. It was awesome. But yeah, apart from that, thanks very much everyone for watching. Thanks podcast listeners for listening. And I hope everyone's having fun playing their Witchcraft and Wizardry games.
Thank you so much, buddy. I'm Wank Steven. I have been your Headmaster of Doom. I've dragged the players kicking and screaming through the adventure today. Thank you so much for all the love in the support chat. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Colo. Thank you, Luxie. Thank you, Murgles. Thank you, Nega Oryx. Thank you, Zagonicus, for being awesome role players. I appreciate you so much.
Wait, hold on. You didn't shout yourself out.
Okay, well, I was going to.
Oh, okay.
Just jumping the gun.
It's a case of the professor yet again.
I just like to make sure I thank everybody else first. Yes, I do stuff occasionally on my stream. Tomorrow is one of those days. I will be streaming Whack Designs at TTRPG, where I'm designing an Isekai TTRPG from scratch. So if you want to see the creative process behind that and how organized it is, then come hang out, because that's the wrong word. But I throw a whole lot of creative stuff at a page and we see what remains. So thank you, everybody. And I will also be raiding into our new show called Spellwind, that will be taking place immediately after that at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow here on this channel. And please check that out. It's still early, so if you want to get in on a new show, we've got that. And this Saturday, we are also premiering our mini-series using the Root Tabletop RPG system. And Luxie's going to be joining me on that. Should be a lot of fun. That's Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Peace out. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.